I never thought the day would turn out the way it did. It started simple enough. Me and my sister Barbara drove out to the countryside to visit our father's grave. The cemetery was quiet, almost too quiet, with the wind carrying that uneasy stillness you can't quite shake. Barbara was nervous, I could see it in her eyes, and honestly, I felt it too. That's when I noticed a man wandering between the tombstones. His walk wasn't right. Slow, stiff, almost like he was fighting against his own body. At first I thought he might have been drunk, but the closer he came, the clearer it became that something was wrong. Then he lunged. Out of nowhere, this thing attacked. He went straight for Barbara. I wrestled him off her, but his strength was unreal, inhuman. We struggled, and in that fight I fell hard against a gravestone. My head cracked, the world spun, and Barbara ran. That was the last I saw of her in that moment. When I came to, night had fallen. My head was pounding, but I forced myself up. I didn't know what was happening, but instinct told me to find shelter. That's when I stumbled upon an old farmhouse. The door creaked as I pushed it open. Dark, abandoned, with a sense of dread hanging over every piece of broken furniture. It didn't take long before I realized I wasn't alone. I met Barbara again. She had made it inside, shaken, nearly mute with terror. She couldn't explain much, but I didn't need words. I'd already seen enough to know that the man from the cemetery wasn't just a man. Outside figures were gathering, stumbling, reaching, their eyes empty, their hunger endless. I took charge. Someone had to. I found wood, nails, whatever I could get my hands on, and began boarding up the windows and doors. If these things wanted in, they'd have to fight for it. But just as I started to feel like we had a chance, voices rose from the basement. We weren't the only ones hiding in that house. Out came Harry Cooper, loud, stubborn, the kind of man who thought he was always right. He had his wife, Helen, and their sick little girl down in the cellar. Along with them was a young couple, Tom and Judy. For a moment, it seemed like strength in numbers might give us hope, but I quickly realized hope was fragile when people couldn't agree. Harry wanted us all in the basement, trapped like rats, but I couldn't accept that. I needed escape routes, I needed visibility. Up here, I could fight. Down there, we'd be sitting ducks. He and I clashed, voices raised, but there was no time to waste. The dead were circling, pressing in from every angle. We tried the truck outside. Tom and I thought we could use it to get fuel and make a run for it. Judy came too against my better judgment. For a moment, it looked like we might pull it off. The engine roared to life and we headed toward the gas pump. But panic and fire are a deadly mix. In a blink, the truck exploded in flames. I watched as Tom and Judy were swallowed by fire, their screams lost to the night. I stumbled back to the house alone again, rage and despair clawing at me. The dead pressed harder now, dozens of them, clawing at the boards, smashing at the windows. Harry, ever the coward, tried to lock me out. I fought my way back in, furious. In the chaos, shots rang out. My finger on the trigger, his chest torn open. I hadn't meant for it to happen like that, but survival makes you do things you never imagined. Then the house became hell. They broke through. Their hands reached, their teeth gnashed, their moans filled the air. Helen screamed, her voice cut short as she found her daughter in the basement. Only the child wasn't her child anymore. That little girl had turned, hunger driving her to sink her teeth into her own mother. The sound of it. God, it still haunts me. One by one, everyone was taken. Barbara, too. She froze when she saw her brother, Johnny, the one who fell back at the cemetery, now walking among the dead. He dragged her into the swarm before I could save her. I wanted to help, but I couldn't. There were too many. Alone, I fought my way to the basement, the one place I swore I'd never go. The irony wasn't lost on me. I bolted the door, barricaded myself below, listening to the pounding above. Hours passed. The dead moaned, clawed, and tore at the house, but eventually, silence fell. When the sun rose, I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd survive the night. I climbed cautiously, peering through the cracks. That's when I heard them, not the dead, but men. Armed men, sweeping the countryside, picking off the ghouls one by one. Rescue. Safety salvation. I stepped toward the light, toward their voices. Relief surged through me until the crack of a rifle split the air. My body jolted, heat tearing through me. They mistook me for one of them. No questions, no warning. Just a bullet, and then nothing. So that's how it ended. I fought through hell, survived the night, only to be felled by the living, not the dead. The Night of the Living Dead.